Are we good? Are we gone? Hi. Welcome back to this, I guess. Yeah, one thing that you might notice that is different from the other unreleased video is that there's a new backdrop. And by backdrop, I mean definitely a shelf filled with all the books that I own because I'm very well read. And these things back here, yeah, these are my readings. All of them. Yeah, don't look too close. Yeah, there might be a wrinkle or two in there. Is it a cloth? 100% not. No, this I just mentioned, I'm very well read. These are my books. We needed a new look. And I'm still actually fleshing out the desk thing because right now it looks like I'm either dabbling in the dark arts or that I'm about to go to a rave. And I don't know which one is worse, to be honest with you. As a Christian man, I guess the dark arts is probably a little bit worse than the rave. But what happens at raves? Dark arts. Dark arts, neon glow sticks, witchcraft, this move, whatever that move is. As you can tell, I've never been to a rave. Also, as you can tell right now, my hair seems like it might be entering Adolf Hitler territory with the way that it's scooping down. And I'm sorry, I don't like that. I need a haircut. I get a haircut maybe twice a year, if that. And it's because I'm always wearing a hat. And I'm not wearing a hat for this. So you see it more. I need to get a haircut. This is the exciting stuff that I'm bringing to you this week for whatever reason. One thing I will say is that I'm actually, I said I wasn't going to push this podcast or this therapy session or whatever this ends up being out to anybody in the world because I don't think anyone actually needs to hear it. I'm not going to market this. I'm not going to push it and be like, yeah, everyone needs to hear this great wisdom coming from a 35-year-old man in a converted garage that is definitely sitting in front of a shelf filled with books and not a backdrop made of cloth. It just doesn't seem necessary to me, I don't think people need to hear anything I have to say. I'm really more or less doing this for me to get this off my chest, but I'm also kind of like an artsy fartsy bastard. So where I'm like, well, it's got to look good. If it's for me, it's got to look good. If I'm editing it and doing all the post-production and wasting all my time on this, it's going to look good, What I did not expect from doing this was that the algorithm would actually push it out to people. It's so weird. What I expected was that like maybe people that had interacted with my podcast or with my personal accounts on something, any of that stuff, that maybe they'd be suggested this show and be like, oh, I didn't know Scott was also ranting alone in a garage. I'm definitely going to check that out. But no, that's not who they're suggesting it to. They're suggesting it to exclusively my mom's friends, my father-in-law, apparently, he's been suggested. And what I have to say to you guys is that you're not going to want to see this. I guess the algorithm thinks that exclusively the people that might want to see this are all geriatric. And I'm not actually, now that I think about it, that might actually be accurate. Yeah. So to my mom's friends and my best friend growing up, to his mom and to my father-in-law, brace yourselves because I really don't think that this is the type of content that you want to see. You're going to hear some very strange things. Okay, your boy is going to open up like crazy. Mainly because I don't want anyone to see this, or I have no desire to get this out to people. This is just me ranting, and it's like a therapy session for me. And so I'm going to go down old memory lane. We're going to dig up some memories, dig up some good times, some bad times, and it's pretty much just going to be this. And I can't see anyone being like, oh, I can't wait to watch that again. I can't wait to see what's next. What is he complaining about next? I don't know. But my big fear right now is that somehow this show is going to make its way to my mother. Because it's exclusively old people that are finding it right now. And if it's my mom's friends finding it, they're going to be like, oh, I saw your son and he was ranting in a garage and it was interesting. Probably not going to say that, and definitely not with that cadence. But if my mom finds this, there's going to be a level of disappointment that she's never experienced before in her life because she's always like, you should do your own thing and you should maybe start your own show. And that's what parents say, right? That's what parents say, even if their children are lacking in skill sets or maybe they're not entertaining to anyone but their parents. I don't know. But parents are supposed to encourage their children to do weird things, right? They're not supposed to be like, oh, definitely don't start your own show. That would be a train wreck. And nobody wants to hear about that. And nobody wants to hear about the issues that you think are issues that really aren't that big of issues compared to anyone else. So I feel like we're on a trajectory here where I have maybe 3 to 6 weeks before I get a text from my mom being like, what's this? And I'm going to have to beg her with everything in my being. I'm going to have to say, Mom, I promise you, you don't need this. Okay, you don't need to see this. This is not for you. This is not for anyone. This is for me. This is for me. And the algorithm sucks. And I'm sorry, the algorithm, that you think that I exclusively cater to the geriatric old people in my life, because I don't. But Mom, if you see this in the future, I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for this. I really need a haircut. I really need a haircut. I don't know, but I'm also reaching that age where like the hairline is receding and it's kind of humbling to say the least. And when you get a haircut and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that that's what my hairline looked like these days. Maybe I should have just kept it long and flowy. But that's annoying. I don't like it in my face. I don't like the little mullet that forms back here. You know, nobody wants a mullet. Well, I guess some people still think mullets are cool, but hey, let me tell you, they're not. Okay? They're not. It just seems weird. It's a weird choice. And this is coming from a weird person. All right? I am a weird person. At least I used to be. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I'm slowly turning into an old man is what is actually happening in my life. Yesterday, I was livid. I was like literally seeing red because the neighbor across the street, they have, I don't know what they are. I don't know if it's a child or a grandchild or whatever. They have a license. They have long pink hair, but I can't tell if it's a boy or a girl. I don't know. I've never been close enough, right? But this person, what they love to do, one of their favorite pastimes, is to just blare really horrible music from their car for like 2 hours. Outside, sitting outside. You can go inside. There's stereos. Stereos exist. You can put crappy music on inside your house. And I still might even be able to hear that, but at least it's in your house. But no. This person likes to turn the stereo full blast. Just full blast. And it sounds like probably what I used to listen to as a teenager, like really metal. And just bass. Just and I'm over here trying to watch Baby Shark with my toddler. Okay? Which is also obnoxious. But of the two, hey, I picked Baby Shark. All right? That's beside the point. So this person yesterday literally was blasting music from their car, I kid you not, for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, maybe they're just, they were fighting with someone inside the house, letting off some steam, going outside. Hey, understandable. Your boy can relate. Okay. I've been in arguments before. I know when you need a breather. Your boy's a hothead. Hence the show. Okay. What I can't relate to is blasting the music from your car and going inside. And I know what you're picturing. You're picturing, oh, well, when they finished, they went inside. No, you're picturing this all wrong. I'm going to clear it up for you, okay? What they did is they turned the music on full blast and then went inside. And so all you had was music blasting from a car for an hour and a half before they came back outside and drove off. Okay? And I know to most people, they're like, well, yeah, it's kind of annoying. No, this was super annoying. This was to the point where I was concocting different ways to make this stop. I went on Amazon looking for a radio jammer and Googling, is it possible to shut music off of someone else's car? Okay. It got to the point where I called the non-emergency line. Yeah. No, I turned into a Karen. I did. I'm 35. Okay. I don't got time for this. I'm not going to just plan by myself. No, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I called the non-emergency line. I'm like, hey, I know there's probably nothing you can do about this, But I have a neighbor that's blasting music from their car for 2 hours and they're not even outside. So can we have someone out here to arrest them? Can we do that? And the lady actually sounded pretty annoyed by me. And I'm sure that's kind of a thing. Like when I'm in my own head, I'm like, oh, no. People got to relate. They're going to hear this and be like, that's the worst. Kill her. You should probably kill them. They, them, her, him, it. I don't know what it is. At first I thought it was a dude. And then now I'm like, the more I look, I'm like, maybe it's a girl. And then I'm like, well, maybe they're just trans. I don't know. But I honestly don't care. I don't care what they're doing with their genitals. I just want the music to stop. Okay? I just want to be able to sit and watch Baby Shark Hospital like a responsible adult without weird bass beats interrupting every 3 seconds. All right? It's not fun. My son gets to see me slowly just lose my temper. It's like, oopsie. It's like, ooh. And then after an hour and a half, I'm like, do we own any weapons? Do we own any weapons? Is there anything? I'm texting my wife, like, you got to come watch our son because I'm about to go to prison. I'm about to go to prison. And of course, there's no response because why would it? It sounds very dramatic. And it was dramatic, but that's the headspace I was in. I'm not proud of it. Like as the day progressed and after that asshole drove away and went to annoy someone else, you slowly come back down and you're like, all right. Okay, maybe my therapist was right, and there is a window of tolerance, and maybe I was just wildly outside of that window of tolerance, right? It happens to the best of us. It happens to me constantly. And I was like, maybe I was overreacting, and maybe my son didn't need to see me slowly losing my mind because someone would not stop blasting horrible music from their car. I thought about doing a Say Anything and go outside with a stereo and just blast my own horrible music. Hey, maybe I blast Baby Shark, all right? Maybe that's what I do. Maybe that's my move. And I just stand on my deck like this. Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do do. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe that's my sweet revenge. But this isn't, just some neighbor that's across the way. No, this is directly across from my house. I see these people constantly. I know none of their names. I've never talked to them once. What I do know is that the previous owners of that house were the exact same way. There was 15 people living inside of it for some weird reason. Okay. They were loud and obnoxious druggies of some kind. And they had zero consideration for their neighbors. Dead of winter, 10 p.m., just absolutely ripping down an icy road on a four-wheeler. I had the pleasure of seeing them flip it once. And I wish I got to see that more than once, But I didn't. And when they moved, I said, thank you, Jesus. I said, good looking out, dude. Thank you. And then who moved in? I sent that house to all of my friends. I said, hey, you looking for a spot? This is right across from me. We could be living that sitcom life very soon. Okay? We could be doing the whole, you just wander on in. Hey, how you doing? Laugh track, applause, the whole thing. We could have been doing all that. No one. I sent it to my parents. I was like, yeah, come move up here to Alaska. Come live across the street from your grandson. It'd be beautiful. What a beautiful life. But no. Who moved in? These people. Do they have 5 dachshunds? Yes, they do. Are they all obnoxious? Yes, they are. Do they have 2 more large dogs outside of the 5 wiener dogs? They do. Mm-hmm. Do they have a he, she, maybe boy, girl, trans person that blasts their music outside the home at all hours of the day? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got one of those too. I'm not happy. Okay. So I know it sounds minor, which is why this podcast exists, so I can complain about things that don't actually matter. And I know there's going to be someone that comes across that clip and it's like, this guy's a transphobe. No, I'm not. Do whatever you want, I don't have to agree with you, and 100%, I don't, okay? You had your little fun, you tried the whole, well, you gotta accept. I don't. It's fine. Cancel me. Cancel this show that nobody watches. Okay. Oh, I'm scared. Yeah. No. Do whatever you want to do. But 100%, no matter what your genitals are doing, keep your music to a dull roar. That's all I'm asking. I'm praying just one thing. Just some common courtesy. And the ironic thing about all this, and I know there's a lesson in everything, the ironic thing is that I 100% did this myself when I was a teenager. Guilty. It's the Spider-Man meme. All right? It was me the whole time. But what can you do? You know, that's 20 years. Holy shit. That's 20 years ago. Wow. So old. Aging. Abort. Yeah, I used to do that all the time. I'd be the guy that was like, driving down the street blasting Under Oath when I'm 16 years old because I thought I was cool and hip and a vibe. And I guarantee across the street when I was blasting that music was some 35-year-old that wanted to call the cops on me and thought that I was inconsiderate. It's the circle of life, I guess. I don't even know why I'm complaining anymore. What I do genuinely hope for the person across the street that I obviously, I got some issues that I'm dealing with, and that's fine. So it's not really fair for me to like yell at them and complain about them. What I genuinely hope for them is that they fall ass backwards into a black hole. Said it. He said it. Okay. Yeah, I know. I should be better. Oh, that's not very Christ-like, Scott. Yeah, it's not. I am not Christ. Okay. This is such a weird show. Can you even call if no one actually watches, can you call it a show, or is it just a video that's online? Like there's videos of me online making home movies back in, God, it had to have been like 2007, right? Those still exist on YouTube. I'm never going to tell people the username they're under. No one's ever going to be able to find them, I promise you, but I can track them down. And they're a little cringeworthy. It was around the age that I was blasting music out of my car constantly. It was around the age where I didn't care about what people were doing or watching or thinking. It was all about me, baby. You're going to listen to my Under Oath, all right? I promise you, you're going to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it. It was around that time. But one thing I do fear a little bit, especially with a show like this, is that I'm in a period of my life where I'm just angsty. You thought the emo days were angsty. Oh, no. No. It got so much worse. Here we are. The big fear, though, is that at some point, my children find this. Now that is hilarious to me. I can't picture a world that is funnier than my son stumbling across this particular video 10 years from now and just be like, wow, Dad, you had some issues. You sure did have some issues. And I sure did have some issues, son. And I would thank you not to judge me for them currently. All right. Just doing my best. All right. Or whatever. Who cares? Does anyone think that AI is actually going to, is it just a fad or is it here forever? Because I got to be honest with you, I'm tired of it. Yeah. Literally every single advertisement that I see now was generated in the Studio Ghibli style of ChatGPT. And guess what? Over it. I'm over it. Not only that, it's coming for a lot of jobs, right? Now, me, let's say 12 to 18 months ago, I thought, there's no way. There's no way. Every single image generation that you see, if it's a character or something like that, they got 15 fingers, they got 35 toes, they got a split little fork tongue, weird eyeballs. Nope. 12 to 16 months ago, I was like, they're not replacing my job. Your boy is just a little bit better. And it took literally 12 to 18 months for me to be like, oh, so I've got maybe 6 weeks left. Oopsie, picked the wrong career path. Man, didn't know I was going to be doing this for half of my life. And then suddenly computers would take over the art industry. It's fine, I guess, Are artists still going to have a little place there? Are people going to want that human touch? Probably. Not for me. I'm not the best artist in the world, but I don't know. I'm just I should have picked a different career. I'm tired of seeing AI images constantly all over the place and then people acting like, oh, I'm the best because I created this. Like, you're not an artist, all right? You're the equivalent of a Canva artist. And guess what? Canva blows. And I'm tired of pretending like it doesn't, okay? I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of pretending like Canva isn't the worst thing that's ever happened to graphic designers. And not just because, now realtors can be graphic designers too. And they can go beep, beep, pop, boop, beep, beep, beep. And suddenly everything's fine. No. You know why? Because the people will use Canva and then they'll send me those crappy files. And they'll be like, hey, here's that production file. No, it's not. I can't use it. I can't use it. You know why? Because the EPS file or AI file or PDF that you export from Canva is actually just a JPEG saved in a different format. It's useless to me. You can't have a 20-foot banner made on a JPEG that's this big, okay? It drives me insane, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people pretending like Canva was a great idea. It's the worst, okay? Yeah. So I'm tired of it. I guess what I'm saying is that there was a period in time, they say that if you do what you love, then you never work a day in your life. And that saying is horse shit, okay? I loved graphic design. There was a time where I couldn't think of doing anything else. And when I got my first job as a graphic designer, cloud nine. I was on cloud nine. I was like, I did it. I don't work at McDonald's anymore. I'm a graphic designer. Okay. Got a job at a sign shop in Vegas. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Living the dream. I'm designing billboards. I'm designing all kinds of stuff out in Vegas. But guess what? I wasn't the boss there. And what it turns out, what I actually wanted was to just be the boss and not listen to people, And maybe that's like an artist thing where you're just kind of like, no, I think I'd rather do my own thing. Because I work at a job now where pretty much you got middle-aged women coming in wanting, t-shirts designed for their 50th birthday parties. And they're like, you need to design it for me. And then you design for them. They're like, not like that. And you got these people thinking that they know better about art and design and layouts and branding than you do. And you're just told constantly, no, not that. No, definitely not that. No, stop doing that. Stop doing that. I work at Walgreens. I know what art is. Stop doing that, all right? I visited Taco Bell 3 weeks ago, okay? I know what art looks like. But they don't. Nobody does. I don't even know. I don't know. It sounds pretentious the way I'm even wording this, but it's not. It's just I realized too late in life that I picked the wrong career. Oopsie. Your boy just wanted to make lightsaber videos, okay? Your boy wanted to be 14 years old making special effects videos with his homies back in California. That's what I was doing. I was doing the YouTube gang before it was even popular. If I were just stuck with that, I'd probably be a multi-millionaire right now. Be bigger than Mr. Beast. Nah, I don't got that. That kind of commitment is a different level. You're not going to find that from me. But what I'm saying is I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have been a big nerd. Shouldn't have wanted to do lightsaber effects. And I should have just picked a trade. Electrician. Something that AI is not going to take over. Chef. Should have been a chef. I'm a fat ass. I like cooking. Could have been a chef. And I feel like there's a lot more respect for chefs. Is chef, and actually this is a burning question for me. God, my hair is going to drive me insane. It feels like Hitler. It feels like Hitler's little, his little flop. When he got like way too heated and he's screaming in German and be like, his hair just be flopping around. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. I can't tell if that's what it looks like because the camera's 8 miles away. I can't see if it's horrible. I'm not going to be able to find out until this is in post-production. And by then, I'm just going to have to use AI to fix it, huh? Yeah, nice try, computer. Back to the chef thing. This is the perfect arena for this question. Are chefs, if you see a doctor and he's outside of work, you still kind of have to call him doctor? Or they expect you to call him doctor? They're like, oh yes, Mr. Hannington. Like, it's Dr. Hannington, actually. And you're like, okay, well, cool, thanks. Is that the same for chefs? Because, on the line, chefs are like, top dog, obviously. You got the sous chef, you got the little worker bees or whatever. I didn't become a chef, okay? I don't know all the terminology, I apologize. But whenever the chef says something, everyone's like, yes, chef. Yes, chef. It's like the military or doctors. Do you have to do that outside of the restaurant is the question. If you see your chef outside of the restaurant, do you have to, and you strike up a conversation with them, say about chicken cordon bleu, why not? Do you have to say, yes, chef? Is that something like, does it demand respect outside of the occupation? Does that make sense? Am I wording this properly? I can't tell if this is coming across the way I want it to. Pretty much, if you, let's say you run into your chef at the bank and you're the bank teller, and the chef is like, I would like to withdraw $8 million because I'm wealthy and my restaurant is very popular. Do you have to say, yes, chef? Right away, chef? Or do you just say, yeah, all right. Sure thing, Greg. You know? Is the chef as offended as the doctor is when you say that to them? It's actually chef. It's not Greg. It's not Greg anymore. It's chef. You tried my raviolis? All right. It's not Greg. Greg doesn't cook raviolis like that. Chef does. Okay. What a stupid question. What a ridiculous thing to wonder. But that's the way my brain operates. Okay. And I can't help it. Why would anyone watch this show? Why would anyone watch this show? Trick question. No one is watching this show. Also, it's not like, YouTube videos, for the most part, if you really want to be wildly successful, you got to have those hooks and you got to have those clickbait titles and you got to do like this number in the thumbnail. Some other apologies, trying to swear less. And I just don't do that. So that's another reason that this would never take off, is I'm not going to be the clickbait guy. Or maybe I should do it just to be hilarious. And I'm going to be ironically clickbaity. Yeah. Yep. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. That sounds like the way to go. That sounds right up my alley. Doing something out of irony until it becomes a thing that I just do. And then I'm like, is this ironic anymore? Or am I actually just doing this? Kind of like how I try to steal words from Gen Z and phrases from Gen Z and use them for myself in my daily life. Like no cap. That started as a joke. For show. Back in the day, that started as a joke too. Back for show. Now it's like part of my vernacular. I'm 35 years old. Okay, I have a mortgage. I have a child. You can't ask me a question and have me say, for show. Seriously. Will I always be a child? I guess that's the question. Where was this going? Where was I taking that? I had something I was going to say. I said, why would anyone be... Oh, YouTube videos. Found it? Yes, dude. Okay, so, too loud. Sorry. Apologies. Got excited. Almost lost it again. Found it again? YouTube videos, right? Like people, for the most part, when they're on YouTube, there's some kind of educational value that someone is getting, right? Me, or maybe that's just me. I personally watch a lot of, investment videos. I watch a lot of different podcasts that offer, insight, wisdom. I watch a lot of pastors preaching sermons on things that I don't understand. And I do that as a way to learn, right? Who is going to stumble across this video, this show, and be like, oh yes, finally, the sage wisdom I've been searching for? It couldn't be me. If I found this, I'd be like, oh, someone's made a knockoff of Crystalia's. Congratulations. Yeah. That's what this feels like. It wasn't what I intended it to feel like, but now the more that I do this, I'm like, I feel like this is like the Kirkland brand of congratulations. Or that's even too generous. Let's say the Great Value brand. Let's drop it down to Walmart. And even this might be Dollar General. Congratulations. Okay. But the difference between Crystalia and myself is that people like him. Okay. And people want to hear him talk and people pay to hear him talk. I have a spooky ghost podcast. Okay. One that I've had for 5 years and is still somewhat underground. Okay. So there's a pretty great divide between the two of our shows. People would watch that because they're like, oh, I at least want to be entertained. Watching this, I don't know why you'd want to watch a 35-year-old train wreck. You know what I mean? There's like nothing in here of value. You're not going to get any great information here. What I want to do, though, is I do want to spice things up with this show a little bit, and I don't really fully understand what that's going to look like. I am somewhat ADHD, so I have all these ideas, and I can't ever calm them down. They just explode out of me. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this and this. And then no one's going to watch it, but I'm going to do it. And I think I'm going to take calls. I'm going to take calls. I'm going to start taking calls. I want to get a nice rotary phone, plant it on this table, and I want to do a segment where I give people advice, because you got to have some kind of hook with your videos, right? You can't just sit there and talk about Le Cordon Bleu. You can't just sit there and talk about obnoxious neighbors. There has to be some value. There has to be some value. So I'm going to just peruse the internet, and I'll go on Reddit or something and just post, but give me your absolute wildest relationship questions. I'm going to answer them on my stupid show that nobody watches. No, I'm sorry. Apologies. That was a pretty low blow to have on myself. And I'd like to be kinder to myself. Let's start that now. I'm going to put them on my show that only geriatric friends of my mother watch. Okay. That only my father-in-law watches clips of. And I'm sure it's a support thing. Like, oh, I'm going to support the weird child that married my daughter. But I promise you, and if this is clipped, I promise you, okay, you're going to learn things about me. You're going to hear things about me that you wish you never found out. Things that you're going to be like, wow, I really shouldn't have let that man marry my daughter. It's too late. It's been years now. So maybe there's hope. I don't know. I want to flesh out some cool ideas. My mom's friends, please feel free to comment if you can figure out how to do that. I know technology is difficult. What should I do? I want to do a call-in section. I want to have a segment where I have a rotary phone and I sound important and people ask me for advice and I get to say, well, actually, oh, he shouldn't treat you like that. No, I want that. I want interesting, weird things. My hair's driving me insane. I need a haircut. Yeah, I don't want to put product in my hair. I don't like that. Okay? I don't like how it makes my hands feel. Okay? And my hair is so strong. I got some Samson level strength in my hair. All right? It doesn't matter what product I put in there. After 5 minutes of my disgusting, obese head sweat, it's going to fall out anyway. You know? What's the point? Who am I trying to impress? My mom's geriatric friends? On this show? No. Couldn't be me. That's fine. I think I'm always going to be slightly, I don't know if it's jealousy or if it's just genuinely upset that there's people out in the world. And I guess, I shouldn't be upset. I should actually applaud people that have, gamed the YouTube system to generate just millions of views. And all they do, get this, literally all they do, if you're scrolling through shorts, right? All it is this. You gotta watch this. Subscribe for more. Now, I know it's hard for you to fully picture it when I'm miming it. What it is it's some asshole on a split screen, and he's on the bottom, and he says, you got to watch this, and he points up to a video that someone else made, and it's just a clip of someone else's video. This person on the bottom is raking in millions of views. Literally just doing this. You got to watch this. Telling me, hey, I don't even know who you are. I don't got to watch that. But there's something inside you when you hear that you're like, oh, I guess it's like a teacher when they correct you. You feel like, well, they said I have to watch. I guess I'll watch it. What is it? What is it? Oh, they're making mozzarella? Oh, yeah. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'm glad I watched that. Thanks. But these people are getting tons of subscribers from not even making content. And I hate that word. I hate the word content because it feels disingenuous. Like you're just like, I'm just making some content. No, but it drives me insane. And so I'm like, okay, I could actually put my heart and soul into this show, which I won't. But I could do that. And I would generate 8 to 10 views like I've done with my other show, which I've done for 5 years. And I do put my heart and soul into. And I produce a lot of content with that show. And I promise you, it's time consuming. Okay, I break my back for that show. And at most, we get like 200 views a week. 200. Someone making mozzarella in their kitchen, 200 million. Yeah, boy, 200. It's fine. It's fine. All right. But there's like this weird anger that boils up inside you. Where you're like, I've been making stuff that I think people would enjoy, fans of the genre at the very least. But no, no, no. F your content. Watch the mozzarella video. Watch the mozzarella video. You gotta watch this. And I do watch it. And it's fascinating. And I didn't know that's how they made mozzarella. And it looks weird at first. And you're like, but I guess it tastes really good. And I'm Italian, so I should probably know that. In the off chance that I have to make mozzarella at some point in my life. But it is what it is. Maybe I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to take this show and I'm going to take clips. I'm going to make clips right now of me saying, you got to watch this. And then me talking about my neighbor being an ass. As a parody. I'm just going to make a parody of everything on the internet. That's what the show is. We figured it out. Parody of everything on the internet. And there's going to be a call-in segment. We got it. We'll start right now. You got to watch this. You won't believe what happens next. You think it's a waste of time, but you have no idea. Wow, I've been doing this wrong my whole life. It just rubs me the wrong way, is what it is. Top 10 things to say if you fart in an elevator. Number 8, changed my life. Shoot me. Shoot me, dude. Take me out back and shoot me. Okay? I just sound bitter. I sound like a bitter old man. And hey, spoiler alert, I'm a bitter old man. Okay? I get to sound like this. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I don't know if it's something, maybe it's like a mental thing. The difference is, and maybe someone out there, I'm sure there's a scientific approach to it, right? The difference between Walmart and Target, right? For me personally, I've noticed that when I go into Walmart, it's the worst. Okay? It's the worst. The people are sluggish. I can't check out a single item without being stuck behind the slowest, fattest person I've ever met in my life. And hey, slow, fat person right here. I get to say it, all right? I just don't have that same problem at Target. And maybe it's because the self-checkout is literally right by the door, so I don't have to walk very far. It's just self-checkout, boom, I'm outside. Boom, the fresh air hits my face. Boom, the sunlight beams down on your boy, okay? It's great stuff. Target, it's always, I'm like right between where the 2 doors are, right? Your boy's right here, 2 doors over there. And I'm always behind the slowest person that I've ever seen in my life every single time. It doesn't matter when I go. I could go at 5 a.m., slow person. Could go at 3 p.m., slow person. And that's not it though. Okay, number one, I get the employees themselves don't want to be there. Okay? Most employees everywhere don't want to be there. Most people, though, working jobs can seem somewhat kind when you talk to them. No. Your boy occasionally will go in for some jalapeno poppies. I'll go to the deli. My wife loves them. I'll go to the deli and I'll wait there for 10 minutes. And someone will see me. And they'll kind of just waddle in my direction, right? And they'll get there and they'll just kind of grunt at you, like, and you go back, oh, hello, friend. Please, I will take a large jalapeno poppy. Your boy likes the poppers. Give me a large one. Now, a large jalapeno poppers at Walmart is 2 scoops from the weird square scoop thing of jalapeno poppers dumped into a paper bag, right? Beautiful. Now, anyone, I could take a 3-year-old and I could give them this scoop and I could say 2 scoops of this thing into this bag. I'm going to time you. Okay? Tell me why every single employee at the deli of Walmart takes 5 to 10 minutes to scoop 2 scoops of jalapeno poppers into a paper bag. And I got to stare at you awkwardly while you do it? Never happened at Target. Mainly because there's no jalapeno poppers at Target, and that's fine. Okay, that's fine. We don't go to Target for the jalapeno poppers. We go for the experience. And we know we're being led around like rats in a maze. Okay, we get it. We're fine with it. It's bright. It's clean. It's modern. We like that. But it shouldn't take anyone. It shouldn't take anyone more than 10 to 15 seconds to get 2 scoops of jalapeno poppers into a paper bag. Walmart, why does it take your employees 10 to 15 minutes? Why am I at the deli counter for 10 to 15 minutes? I know this is a useless complaint, but guess what? Spoiler alert, everything here is, okay? I'm complaining about things that I don't like. I don't like Walmart employees, okay? And I don't care if that sounds prejudiced, all right? Do better. Do better. Or get a better job. I don't know. Do something. Or just keep it all inside you like a normal person. Slow people at Walmart drive me insane. Deli workers at Walmart drive me insane. You both out of here. You're out of here. Setting the record straight. Walmart, we need to make this clip viral, okay? All of my mom's old friends need to share this video, get it to Walmart execs, say, hey, it's time to drop the deli people, or get folks in there that know how to scoop things quickly. Okay? I'm already in a place I don't want to be. And that's Walmart. I don't want to be here. But now I have to be here longer because you get upset that someone came to the counter where people are supposed to go to the counter to order things that they want to eat, and it takes you 25 minutes to get from the back, which is 8 feet away, to the front, and another 10 to 15 minutes to grab the scoop, and then you're going to scoop it in. And what are you going to do after that? You're going to forget that I asked for 2. And then I have to be the sorry, trying to swear less. Then I have to be the sorry, trying to swear less again. And I have to say, no. Actually, I said 2 of these. 2 of these. I'm like, oh, you wanted 2? Just give me the damn poppers, okay? I don't want to talk. And the few times that they do actually talk to me, it's about the weirdest things that I've ever heard in my life. There was one lady scooping poppies, and she was talking to me about how her father used to have her on a fishing boat when she was like 8 to 10 years old. And then she would do all these like fishing tours and whatnot with her dad, and she'd be surrounded by a bunch of grown men. And then she followed that up with, well, it probably wasn't the smartest thing to have a, 10, 12-year-old girl or whatever on these fishing liners with all these grown men out at sea. And I was like, yeah, crazy. Are we best friends? Are we best friends now? Huh? Are we best friends, or was I just someone that came in here looking for jalapeno poppers? I can't remember because now I know your childhood, and I didn't need that. I didn't need the burden of what could have possibly gone on that boat to a young girl while I'm looking for jalapeno poppers for my wife. Okay? We don't know each other. This is transactional. Me, jalapeno poppers. Money. You, 10 to 15 minutes to scoop them. Don't need to hear about boats. Don't you hear about the implications of that? But it's fine, It's cool. It's cool because I complain about everything. I complain about every single thing. And then I get mad when people complain to me. It's hilarious. People complain about something like, you really don't have to complain about that all the time. Irony. Yep. Sure, people know. I'm sure when I do touch on people complaining about things, they're like, hey, Scott, maybe you didn't notice. You complain about everything. You complain. It's the Spider-Man meme again. My entire life is a Spider-Man meme, and that's fine. I don't know what to do. I feel like this episode has dragged out for some time. I really don't. I don't know how to close these out. This is why I need a segment. There's no story arc in this. It's not like, and as we come to the climax, there's no big closeout joke ready to share with you. I'm just venting about stuff. One thing, I guess, has been just eating me alive. And I know I do some investing, okay? Don't come to me for investment advice, all right? Half of my net worth is invested into a cryptocurrency called Fartcoin, okay? Fartcoin. Stocks, what are those? No. Give me Fartcoin. Fartcoin. I think all of the TV streaming services need to come together and decide what the volume to have shows at. I'm tired of it. Okay, I can go on Netflix, my volume has to be at 30 or 35. I go to Paramount, it's like 48. I go to Apple TV, that shit's at like 58, 60. And then I swap back to YouTube, and that has to be at 20. Okay, so I can't keep adjusting the volume. Hey, everyone, come together and figure out how loud shit needs to be. All right? I have to hold the remote constantly. Be like, no, music's coming up. Lower, lower, lower. I don't want to wake my child. Oh, dialogue's coming up. Oh, they're whispering to each other. Oh, but then they're not just whispering. There's something very loud that happens also. What are you doing? What are you doing? Can you just decide how loud things should be and just keep it there? Does everything have to be like just a wild spectrum of audio? No. Pick a volume and use that volume across the entirety of the streaming services. Okay, can we do that? Please, I'm begging you. I'm tired of adjusting the volume constantly, and then I forget to put it back. And I only watch Apple TV every once in a while. And then I go to YouTube the next morning. It's nice and peaceful. And then I'm being screamed at. Okay? Lower the volume. Make it a set number. Hey, everyone. Listen how easy it is. Hey, everyone. We're going to have 25. That's going to be that's a good number for TVs. Yeah? 25? 25? High fives? We did it. Hey, was that a 30-second meeting? Because I think it was. Did we solve everything? I think we did. I think I'm done ranting for the day. Don't worry, I'm sure there'll be more things for me to complain about. The world is a very big place. And if you did stumble across this, and for whatever reason couldn't turn away, just know, in my heart of hearts,
I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for